a giant human face appeared. At first, many thought it was just an illusion or a camera trick, but then photos and videos from different locations started flooding the internet, and every single one showed the same thing: a face, clear as day, staring straight at Earth. Scientists cautiously suggested it could be an atmospheric refraction, or overlapping shadows between the moon and Earth's atmosphere. If that's a face, has it been watching us all along? What's even stranger, AI-enhanced images revealed that the face seemed to move. The mouth appeared slightly open, almost as if trying to speak. This instantly reminded people of ancient legends. The moon isn't just a satellite, but an eye watching Earth. So, what does this face mean? Is it just a cosmic illusion or a message from beyond? Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Last night's moon will be remembered as one of the eeriest moments in human history.
This video hit my timeline today, and it just completely changed my worldview of this man, Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Barack Obama.
In the history of American power, no foreign enemy ever set foot in the Oval Office, until one did. He didn't wear a turban. He wore a suit. He didn't carry bombs. He carried rhetoric. Barack Hussein Obama, sold to America as the post-racial messiah, but groomed by forces with a very different mission: to soften the West, to kneel before Islam, to hollow out the last superpower from within. Obama's story didn't begin in Chicago. It began in Jakarta. Barack Obama was born in Honolulu in 1961, but from age 6 to 10, he was raised in Jakarta, Indonesia, after his mother married an Indonesian Muslim, Lolo Sotoro. There, he attended local schools under the name Barry Sotoro, studied Islam, and absorbed a worldview far removed from traditional American values, a formative experience that would later shape his globalist ideology and sympathetic stance toward the Muslim world. Then he appeared in college in California. They say Barack Obama transferred to Columbia University in 1981. Political science major, international relations focus. Graduated in 1983, but no one remembers him. No classmates, no professors, no clubs, no student groups, no published writings, not even a roommate. His transcript sealed. Application sealed. Every record, every paper, every grade, vanished or protected. For the future leader of the free world, there's a vacuum. Some say Saudi-linked donors helped place him. Others say intelligence handlers kept him off the radar. One thing is certain: the silence is intentional. Barack Obama's path into Harvard wasn't just merit and magic. His ideological father figure, Frank Marshall Davis, a communist, race war theorist, and FBI target. Declassified files named Davis a potential Soviet agent. Obama never mentioned his name in his book, Dreams from My Father, but the fingerprints are there. Then came Jeremiah Wright, Bill Ayers, and Harvard, where victimhood became power. Obama's worldview was never liberal. It was reversalist. Good became evil. Freedom became oppression. Islam became the victim. America wasn't something to lead. It was something to unmake. When Obama appeared in politics, he also seemed to emerge from nowhere, like in his college years. A little-known junior senator with no real accomplishments, yet suddenly vaulted to global stardom. His rise was rapid, orchestrated, and curiously unchallenged, as if someone needed him exactly where he ended up. Let's look at his inner circle. Several figures close to Obama had documented associations with Islamist organizations or regimes, and paved his way, starting with the Egypt regime overthrow. In June 2009, Obama went to Cairo and demanded the Muslim Brotherhood be seated front row. Critics point to multiple MB-affiliated individuals in or advising the Obama administration that had a deep take and input on the Egypt policy. An Egyptian magazine's investigation, later reported by the Investigative Project on Terrorism, claimed 6 American Islamists in Obama's orbit were Brotherhood operatives, helping shift U.S. policy from hostility to support for MB. Among those named were Arif Ali Khan, co-founder of an Islamic group called a Brotherhood subsidiary; Mohammed Alibiari, who praised MB ideologue Saeed Qutb and allegedly leaked sensitive documents. Alibiari was said to have helped shape Obama's 2011 speech urging Egypt's Hosni Mubarak to step down. Rashad Hussein, who had maintained close ties with U.S. Muslim Brotherhood networks. Salam al-Marayati, the president of MPAC. Imam Mohammed Magid, president of ESNA, an MB-founded group. Ibu Patel reported to have connections with MB-founded Muslim Student Association and Islamist ideologues. These individuals enjoyed access to high levels of government, visiting the White House regularly and advising on policy. While the administration rejected the notion that they were operatives, the preponderance of MB-linked figures in advisory roles was unprecedented and in line with MB's stated goal of influencing U.S. institutions.
Humans did exist. They are petrified. Research Tartarian.
Look, I'm not here to entertain the present. You may tell him. The will reveal. Get his hopes up on all happens. Learn from that. Here at the legal. The world under the truth is safe. For all of them is gone.
I hope to do with ceremonial farewell, especially since the military has worked so closely with them. Until you.
It's not the fun that you realize.
Do a real quick video. This is going to be another one of those, but I wanted to finish up on the money changers. I wanted to talk to you about the Department of Energy. When they said that Barack Obama was going to be in trouble for what he did, and we all knew he was doing it, I thought to myself, well, they're just building everything up. They're holding on to that Epstein case. They're going to hit him with everything. One of the things that people aren't aware of is the Department of Energy. The Department of Energy, and if I bring a few things up to you, you're going to recall it, and you're going to go, oh my God, that's right. So the Department of Energy was one of the departments that probably had the most money laundering. I don't have any evidence on it. It's just that I follow, the spending and the budgets, and I see where money's going. So under Barack Obama, I believe it was $446 billion that was sent out to all these companies. Do you remember that? Do you remember when they had all of, it was the big scare, we've got to have the solars and we've got to have the panels and we've got to have this and we've got to have that and we've got to save the planet and all. It's not under Barack Obama. Anyhow, it was called the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. It was in 2015. I certainly remember because all those money, they got billions and billions and millions of dollars, they all went bankrupt and nobody was held accountable for that money. And I said right then and there, it was a money laundering scheme. Barack Obama was saying, well, they're new companies and this is new and you can't expect every company. Well, you know what, then you shouldn't have gave them that money. But I did go back and I looked up all of those companies and I think that I counted all together that I found was like 18 of them, and 14 of them were foreign countries, and I think I could positively identify 11 of those countries were, I don't know how to say it, they weren't Christians that owned the company, and they weren't Jewish people either. That's all I'm going to say. So I followed that trail. Now, if I can do this, and I'm just a citizen who pays taxes and pays attention, I'm also a Christian. I biblically look at everything through the biblical eye. So I started looking into it. Barack Hussein Obama was, that name alone tells me that they weren't for the best interest of America, and he tried to destroy it from within. Department of Energy was a good way to funnel money. Now everybody bought into the Green New scam, and it's a hoax. Trump's called it a hoax. We know it was a hoax. So Obama did this and started it. Billions of dollars was wasted and spent. And then Trump came into office. It was kind of cut back, scaled back. It was cut back a lot. And then we had the puppet come in here, Biden. Now Biden's Department of Energy sent out $93 billion.
Take your next giant leap online with Purdue University.
Managed it
in 76 days. What 76 days did he send it out in? From the day that Trump was elected in November until January of this year, January 20th, when Trump took over the office. $93 billion out the window to these companies, and these companies don't have a business plan. They didn't have to provide nothing. All you do is like make a name and get a doing business as number, and then you're just having money sent to you. This is all going to be investigated because it's been money laundering. You look at Burisma. You remember what happened when the Bidens were under investigation. The Bidens' whole family was under investigation with Ukraine and Burisma. So this has been going on for quite a while. The Burisma was bringing attention, remember? And they were looking at these shell companies. And then you had, Biden bragging about having one of the prosecutors, terminated from his job. And then his son was on the... It's not over. People think that they gave up. No, they didn't. It's just like the Epstein files. They put it on a shelf because they're going to clump it all together. They're going to hit them hard because the cabal is involved with all of it. Epstein, they're involved with this money laundering that they've been using the Green New scam to do it under. And Burisma, all of that. Listen, some of those pardons are going to be good, but it isn't going to cover everybody. And the cabal is going down. The other thing I wanted to tell you about in New York State, so I'm talking to New Yorkers, right? In New York State, we have Kathy Hochul, who took down and closed down one of our nuclear power plants. Now here it is 2 years later. It's coming up on election. She knows she's failing because we're all struggling paying utilities. I know I am. And they cannot put up the new housing that they want to put up, which is government subsidized housing or low-income housing, because in the local areas that they're trying to build these housing projects at, they can't build them because the electric grid would not support them. So they're being denied building low-income housing because the electric grid is not going to support these housing, and we need housing, right? So you can't build if you don't have electricity to support the housing. Now she's talking about opening up another, get this, nuclear power plant. So she closed one, and she's going to open another one. Why did she close that one? Why did she close that one? And now she wants to open another one. She closed that one because she didn't have her foot in the door, but if she's going to open another one, that's just another place to start money laundering at under the guise of nuclear power. So there's other stuff. It's called renewable energy, and I will be doing a video on that, and I'll be able to come up with receipts. This is another scam on New Yorkers, which is going to be another big money laundering. You close down one nuclear power plant to later on open up another one and make investments. Billions is going to be taken from the taxpayer money. Billions is going to be taken from us. It's just going to be another money laundering scheme. Obama did it. Newsom's doing it. I will tell you about Newsom in New York, how they're connected in my next video, and I can't wait to get it out. I just hope God frees up my time so I can get to these plants and get to talk to the people. Newsom's doing it in California. These people are becoming rich. It's just kind of like Letitia James getting $10 million for her personal legal fees, going to a law firm by the name of Dave Polk, and Kathy Hochul's husband all of a sudden just started working there. It's money laundering, and we are the victims of it, so we have to wake up and pay attention. The other thing I wanted to say was, if you don't mind me saying, I am a conservative Christian. I always put stuff into biblical perspective is how I see stuff, and I listen to Christian news and Christian broadcasting, but I try to put it into a worldly, because not everybody reads the Bible. But I wanted to mention to you about the money changers. There was a while ago I did a video, and I said that God was going to come after the money changers. Kathy Hochul's a money changer. She's another one that's coming in to destroy this country and destroy our state. I'm sorry. And so I was going to speak to the conservatives. The conservative people, your voice is so important, but not always, especially in New York, do we get a conservative choice to vote for. So a lot of the conservatives has been registering as Republicans, because it's usually 2 Republicans if there's going to be a primary, but not 2 conservatives. So you can always vote who you want to in the election, but when it comes to the primaries, the conservatives cannot vote in the primary of the Republicans, and sometimes that's the only choice you're going to get.
How true it was when Nikola Tesla said, "All these years I have spent in the service of mankind brought me nothing but insults and humiliation. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. Our senses enable us to perceive only a minute portion of the outside world. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care because they don't have any of their own. Be alone. That is the secret to invention. Be alone. That is where all the ideas are born. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. We crave new sensations, but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences.
Did you know that Lucifer is not the only prince of hell? And even more terrifying, he is far from being the worst of them. Hidden within the ancient pages of a medieval grimoire called the Key of Solomon, there are chilling descriptions of the 7 princes of hell. These beings are not mere demons. They are rulers of vast infernal legions, each wielding devastating power. Among them is Mammon, the prince of greed and corruption. Mammon is not just a demon. He is the very embodiment of an insatiable lust for wealth, power, and injustice. It is said that he was a fallen angel, seduced by the allure of earthly treasures. What is even more disturbing is that his influence is not confined to the spiritual realm. Mammon walks the earth, seeking souls to corrupt. His temptations are subtle, often disguised as irresistible offers of wealth and prosperity. In the Gospels of Luke and Matthew, Jesus warns us, you cannot serve both God and Mammon. This is because Mammon represents the worship of material wealth, something that consumes the soul. But there's an even more unsettling detail. Mammon is a master of disguise. He can take on any form, human or animal, silently infiltrating people's lives. If someone around you begins acting strangely, be cautious. It could be the dark presence of Mammon lurking nearby, ready to claim another lost soul. These were the last words that Satan whispered to Jesus before the crucifixion. Satan said to Jesus, "Jesus, I must admit, there is something I will miss about you. Without your presence in the world, I see your people bowing down to false religious leaders as if they were gods. They will blindly follow thieves, murderers, and charlatans who will take over your temples on earth. They will worship celebrities who produce nothing of true value. They will seek remedies that do not heal, and elect rulers who only care about filling their own pockets while neglecting those in need. These humans will become so miserable that they won't even know the names of those who prepare their food, who care for them when they are ill, or who keep faith in you alive. I have a proposal for you, Jesus. Give me the souls of those who worship these false idols after their deaths, and in return, all those who do not will have free passage to heaven with you. There was a brief pause, and then Jesus looked into Satan's eyes with deep sadness. With a gaze full of compassion, Jesus replied, "Comment and follow to watch part 2.
No! You know what? You man.
This mysterious video is said to have been recorded in a hospital in either West Sumatra or Malaysia. CCTV footage shows a hospital ward with sick patients lying in bed. But there's something else in the footage that is truly terrifying. What appears to be a small shadow figure about the size of a child can be seen standing next to one of the beds. Hospital visitors can be seen walking right through the apparition as if it's not even there. Even creepier, the story goes that the patient in the bed passed away shortly after this chilling footage was recorded. It makes you wonder, did something come to visit them before they passed? Or maybe something came to take them away. You decide.